Alright, well that is lick number 20. We are up to 20 lessons here on this series. 20 videos with 20 country guitar lick ideas. It's an open string lick in A, and the key to this lick is that you have notes ringing while you're playing other notes. So that's why you're employing these open strings, so that as you play, you're leaving one note ringing as you're going to the next. So it gets this kind of a cascading type of effect. So the lick starts here with our middle finger on the G note, and we are basically gonna pull off from the G to the F sharp using our pick, and then we're gonna hybrid pick with our middle finger up on the open E. So basically what we are playing, if we were fingering it, is the pentatonic A scale, right? We all know the pentatonic scale. Okay, so a lot of these runs are kind of coming off of that, but using open strings instead of a fretted note. So the first part is, pretty easy, but instead of hitting this E here, we are going to play the open E string. So it's okay, so that's the first part. The next part is we are going with our middle finger on the D, and we're hammering off to the C sharp, the major third of A, and then we are using our middle finger to pull up on the B string. So we're actually fretting this, right? And that's part of the major scale of A. So we start off with that, and then we're doing, but we're using open strings. Okay, and we're hammering off on the first two notes, and then picking up with the finger. Okay, and then the next part is we have our middle finger on the A, and then we do the open string on the G. So it's kind of like just doing this, right? So if we were fretting everything, it would be, right, which was pretty easy to do. So instead, we are using open strings when we can. Okay, so let's try that again slowly. Okay, so we've got that part. So then the next part is with our third finger, we're up on the F sharp, and we pull off to the E using the pick. So it's a pick and a pull off, and then an open string on the D note. And you can use your middle finger, or if you're using a thumb pick, you could use your first finger. So we've got slowly. Okay, and then the next part, we're doing a hammer on from the C to the C sharp, from the flat third to the major third, and then we pluck up with our finger on the A note, which is on the D string on the 7th fret. Basically what we're just doing is this, we're just doing it up here. So we're just playing very similar parts with open strings that we usually play fully fretted and in other positions in the neck, so the notes, as we said, are right. So we know how to do that. So now we're just playing that with open strings, so we get this cascading effect with the open string sounds kind of hanging on as we play other notes. So that is the first part of the lick. We'll do that one more time. Okay, and then we're going to do something that I've taught in an earlier lick. It was part of a double stop thing I was doing in E. I think it was... Yeah, it was this. Yeah, so that's in a previous lesson. So we're going to do that up in A. So that's what I was doing on the intro. Okay, so what we're doing is based out of the A triad, this A triad, which is part of the C chord, right? And if you played the C chord and you had this bar, then you moved it all the way up to here, right? So that's this note, and we just remove we're not playing the root of A here, we're just playing these three notes, right? So we're playing the C sharp, the E, and the A. That's our A triad, C sharp, E, and A. So it's based out of that. So the first part of the lick is this. So we're going from the C sharp at the 11th fret to the E with our index finger to the F sharp. Okay, so that's the first rung. And then we're doing a double stop here with our second finger on the A on the D on the 10th fret and our index finger on the C sharp. So that is just the bottom part of an A triad, right? If you played your D chord and you moved it all the way up to the 10th fret, you've got an A triad. So the bottom two notes of this D triad, this D chord formation triad of an A, okay? It gets a little confusing, but I think you're following me. The bottom two notes, so we're going to play that. We're just going to be playing it with our index finger and our second finger. Then we slide down 2 frets, and we're basically playing the bottom two notes of the G. So that's kind of our flat 7th sound. And then we slide down again, but we've got to now spread it out a bit. We've got our first finger on the A and our second finger on the F sharp. So we've got, okay? And then we complete it by the first two notes of the lick is sliding up F sharp, and we resolve on the E, the 5th. So we actually kind of end the lick on the 5th of the A triad. That's the 5th note of the A triad, right? A, C sharp, and E. So we've got. Okay, so that's the second part. So now we put them together. Right. So the trick is keeping your fingers kind of curled up a bit. We're used to always playing like this. We're always used to muting. You want to lean your fingers across the strings to mute so you don't get ringing notes. In this case, it's completely the opposite. We want our fingers to kind of curl up so we're not kind of interfering with the open string, because we want the open string to ring out. Right? We want that. So we want that E to ring out as we do the next lick. And then we want the B to ring out as we do the next lick. Then we want the D to ring as we do the, and so on. All right? All right, so have fun with that one. So you can just use this lick over the A chord. When you're in a progression and you come to an A chord, right? Or you could just use that over the A by itself and separate them. Anyway, that is lick 19. Hope you enjoy that one. If you're liking these lessons, please subscribe, hit the bell notification. So that makes it 20 licks. I'm thinking, and I'd love your feedback, that now I try to connect them all. I think we've hit enough kind of licks that you can move in and out. There were some that were a little bit more specific to one chord that you can't really move around too much because they're based on open strings, like this one. And there was a few other lessons that I did do. But a lot of them are movable. A lot of them, the ones in E, G, and D, you can move them around. So I'm thinking maybe now we move forward to try and building solos with the licks that we've learned. And, I'll come up as I think of some new ideas and some new licks that I stumble across. I'll put out another video on that. So anyway, please subscribe. Stay with me. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Take care. Bye.